Good evening. This is the Town of Penfield Conservation Board, April 6, 2021 meeting. My name is Burton Gorton, and I am chairing the meeting tonight at the request of our current chair, Jim Almstead, who is out of town and will not be attending. On the meeting here tonight, we have Debbie Drawe, our Town Board liaison, Pat Schlichler, Town Board or a Conservation Board member, Roseanne Cohen, Daniel Moore, Jeff Bartucci, Paul Sugnut, and gentlemen from the town, will you identify yourselves? I don't know whether you were both here, but if you would go ahead, Doug and...
Brad Cometh and Doug Sangster.
Thank you. Okay, so with that, our agenda is hopefully everybody had a chance to review the meeting minutes. Does anybody have any corrections or changes? I know I looked through them. I didn't have any comments. Again, any comments? If not, could I have a motion to approve?
Is Noel's name spelled correctly?
I didn't, Noel wasn't on. Oh, on the meeting notes? Because Noel's not on tonight. But Noel. I don't know. Is that? No, that doesn't look right.
No.
Could you? Yeah, could you check that?
I'll double check it. It got copied
yeah,
from a previous set of minutes, so.
Okay.
I'll double
Yeah,
check.
because Noel is not on tonight for whatever reason, so. Okay, other than that, any other changes? If not, could we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
And thank you. Meetings are approved. Meeting minutes are approved. Doug or Brad, any communications at all that need to be shared with the board?
None.
Okay, I do not believe we have any members of the public participating here tonight.
Nope.
So with that, we'll move on to the only report we have tonight. That is for 1030 Plank Road. That was a sketch plan that, if you recall, we reviewed at last month's meeting. Pat and I volunteered to take a look at it from the aerial map that was shown to us at last meeting. I had a little concerned as it looked to be a potentially nice wooded area that would be part of this subdivision. So Pat and I went out on Monday a few weeks back and took a look at it. The reality of the wooded area does not match the aerial map. It's nowhere near as nice looking as that aerial map shows. And in fact, so let me step back. So what's going to happen is that there's an existing house. Do you have the aerial map?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
Brad or Doug, that you could pull up? Oh, here, how do I get rid of participants? No, I can't get rid of my participants. There we go. Yeah, so let's see, 1030.
Yeah, it's loading.
Okay. Okay, there we go. It's kind of there in the middle of the screen where his cursor is. So again, if you look at all that treed area on the left side of the lot looked fairly impressive from the aerial view. So what they're going to do is you'll see the existing house down close to Plank Road. They're proposing putting in 4 houses. One just to the right of that house in that small a small lot to the right. And then from the left side of the lot, 3 houses, one close to Plank, one behind it, and then one kind of in the middle center back portion of this lot with a shared common drive. So we had some discussions at that last meeting about that treat area, and I was curious to take a look. So again, a couple of weeks ago, Pat and I stopped and took a look. As we say, what's there is nowhere near as impressive as what the aerial would seem to indicate. A lot of it was second growth. A lot of it was ash trees that that quite frankly, very visible damage already from the ash borer. We were able to, on the left side of that lot, walk back in a little bit of a ways. The current owner has cut some trails. You can kind of see that, the back right corner of the lot. So there are some trails already there. So the long and the short of it for us is that didn't really see much of an issue with whatever trees they take down for creating these 3 lots. You know, they will be abiding by the street tree policy. So they'll be having to add some trees back in. And to the very back north side of that lot, some of those trees will be saved, as the houses are kind of from the left and just behind the existing house. So the back half of the lot will not be interrupted. So the only other concern that we had is that Mill Creek runs right along the west border of this property. So obviously when, thank you, Brad. So obviously when they're going to do this construction, erosion and stormwater mitigation, once it comes to prelim and final, if it gets that far, will be of interest when we review it again. So that's pretty much it. Very unassuming from our standpoint. Pat, anything that you'd like to add?
Nope, that sounds good. We, there wasn't a lot to see, so.
Yeah, very unimpressive compared to the aerial, but that's why I thought it was worth the look, to at least confirm that. Okay, so with that, we'll enter that report into the meeting minutes. Back to the agenda. I guess, Doug, Brad, any reviews that you'd like to do of ongoing projects?
Nothing new, just if you guys wanted to take a look at the 1364 Jackson, the school district bus garage property.
Oh,
again.
yeah, why don't we take a look at that? Has any further information come to us since the last meeting?
No, nothing new since the last meeting.
Okay. So again, conceptually, what are they doing?
There
Right.
will be a
Garage, right behind the house?
garage, and then bus storage approximately off of Jackson Road with
Okay.
entrances on both.
Okay.
And then a septic field up in the north end of the property.
And again, this being school property and things, I mean, we'll have no review of this, correct?
No, so
Yeah.
they're only coming to the planning board for subdivision review.
Right.
They
develop.
for state or for site plan, they do go through the state education department for their approvals.
Yeah.
The Board of Education or Penfield Board of Education is lead agency for the seeker review. At this time,
Okay.
they've stated they don't have a set site plan. They're
Okay.
mulling a few things over, but they've started their seeker review, from my understanding.
Okay. All right, good.
But, while we don't have, the town doesn't necessarily have say in how things develop, we wanted to give you guys the opportunity to at least write a report on it, outline any of the concerns you have, that we can present that to the school district for their consideration.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I didn't get that sense after the last meeting, but all right. So at this point, we'll kind of put that on hold, but when they come out with a little bit firmer plans, then you'll bring that back and we'll get a team assigned to it.
So, I mean, if they're coming to the planning board this Thursday for their subdivision review, so if you guys would
Right.
like to review it this month, we'll get that to the school district as soon as we can.
Well, what,
But as
what,
far as
what are
what-
we,
Anything after this application, they don't have to come back to the town. After our review, if they are approved, if their subdivision is approved, any additional review will be done by the state education department and not by the town.
right, because that subdivision is just strictly dividing that house from the rest of the property, right?
That's correct.
I'll let other members of the board weigh in, but I don't think there's any I mean, I know a little bit at that corner, you know, I can conceptually drive by it quite often and stuff. I mean, that seems pretty straightforward to me, unless somebody wants to take a look at it.
Well,
Bert, I
I'm sure
agree
we
with
should,
you.
oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Well, I was
Go
just gonna say, if they're allowed to, subdivide off the house and that doesn't seem like a big deal, it's, then it's theirs to do with what they want according to
Yeah.
regulations, so.
I would agree with you, Bert.
Yeah, I don't.
Then
Okay.
that is what we have.
Just, yep. Okay, so let me see. Roseanne, do you have any update from the MC by any chance? I don't know whether there's had any meetings or. Oh, are you on
Sorry.
mute, Roseanne?
Okay,
Oh,
yeah, I got it.
sorry. Okay,
Yeah, last month was Hillary Mosher spoke about the invasive species. So it was just an update. It was pretty interesting, but
okay.
it was more or less what we heard. I think we saw her a couple years ago, right?
Right,
one?
yep.
Which one
Yep,
was
she-
that, Roseanne?
Her name is Hillary Mosher.
No, which invasive species was that?
Oh, it was about all the ones that are around.
Oh, all of them, okay.
Yeah, it was just a general discussion. It was interesting though.
Okay, so at this point, Doug, Brad, any new business that needs to be reviewed?
Nope. And just so you know, we have no new applications for May for the planning board.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna send a note to Jim. I know I will not be here for the May meeting, but so if we don't have any applications, you're thinking about I would communicate with Jim. He should be back next week as to whether he wants to cancel it or not, would be my recommendation.
Okay.
Okay.
So I guess at this point, any other items of interest from any other members of the board? Questions for Doug or Brad?
Can't think of anything, Bert.
I noticed that they've started to work on that one that Pat and I reviewed on Jackson and Plank. They've started knocking trees down and stuff there. Have you seen that yet, Doug?
Yeah. Yeah, the Rocco Pines property.
Yeah. They're- Jackson and Plank, the
The southeast side.
east side, yeah.
Yeah, when you guys reviewed it, it was known as Forest Ridge.
Yeah.
A new developer purchased the approved set of plans from the engineering firm that prepared them, and he is moving forward with the development. It's got a new name now. It'll be Rocco Pines, but he has come in. He has submitted a grading plan and his clearing limits, and he's starting to do some mowing and some limited tree clearing.
Yeah. That's what I've seen.
Oh, okay. Any other questions, comments from the board?
All set, Bert.
All right. Do I have a motion to dismiss?
Motion to dismiss.
Seconded? By anybody?
Second.
Thank you. All right,
Great.
again, Brad, Doug, why don't you communicate with Jim as to what he might want to do for the May meeting?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, everybody, thanks. It's a wrap.
Thanks.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.